Hi guys, you're very welcome to this channel. So what to expect if you ignore the narcissist? Ooh. What to expect if you ignore the narcissist? This is not something that a narcissist will allow easily. There are consequences to your bad behavior if you choose to ignore a narcissist. So let's get into this video. First of all, I'd like to say thank you very much for being here and supporting the work. I really appreciate you and need you. And if you can subscribe to keep going, if you can subscribe to the channel, if you like the video, I'd be very appreciative of that. So this is taken, this particular viewpoint of the narcissist is taken from where you're still in a relationship with them, usually taken more from the intimate setting because it's easier to see the direct maneuvers, but you can apply it to other settings as well. This is taken from when a narcissist is not finished with you, but you're getting to the stage where you're in a devaluation stage. It's been up and down. There's been a lot of push and pull, and you're getting fed up. Maybe the narcissist has done something particularly not nice. They've shown a bit of their true selves to you, and you're really having serious doubts about the relationship. So that's the kind of scenario that we're looking at here. So this is also taken from you're not living with the narcissist, although it can be applied in that setting as well. So you are fed up and you have decided that you're going to ignore the narcissist. This doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to block the narcissist on everything. It just means you want a break. You want some time to reflect, and you've decided you're going to ignore this person for a while and look after yourself, and hopefully hop on the narcissistic abuse awareness channels and learn more about what you're dealing with. So guys, you taking control is an to the narcissist. Their whole false reality and their whole narcissistic personality disorder is set up for them to always be in control. They never ever can allow another person to take control of the trajectory of their lives, of their fuel supply. Control is like oxygen to them. So you all of a sudden ignoring a narcissist text and then not texting them or not being in contact with them as you had been, over a period of however many months, years or so ever, is a shock to the narcissist and is not a pleasant shock. And it's something they look upon with disgust because they can't look upon it as you having justification for not being in contact with them. And it's you taking control, which is the antithesis, I think that's the word, of what their narcissism is all about. So they need to regain that control. So the very, very most likely first reaction of a narcissist is to ignore you as well. They're highly competitive, and that's all to do with their need to be in control and to be the top dog, because if they win, you lose. The black and white thinking always comes into play there. They have to always be the one to take action first, to initiate things, to initiate your reactions. Once they're the initiator of your reaction belongs to them, so to speak, and it gives them a sense of existence in their false reality, their false mask. So the first reaction will probably be to ignore you back. Now, they know that by ignoring you back is going to be temporarily okay for you, but ultimately they have their hook in you psychologically, emotionally, and spiritually, and sometimes in a physical domain. They know how you feel about them. They know that they essentially have control of your cognitive dissonance, of your dopamine levels. They know that you're empathic, that you would look for answers, that you won't just cut off, that it's highly unlikely that a person like you will be able to sustain ignoring the narcissist. So they'll play it out, and what they will do in the meantime is get their supply from somewhere else. Remember, if you're their main source of supply, you equal food. You equal their food and their water. So they can't go and sit by themselves and take the space that they may actually even say to you that they need. Narcissists can't exist in space. Narcissists need to have a lifeline or a tube feeding into another human being to be emotionally regulated, to exist, to have their false reality propped up, and to survive. So they'll be working on other sources of supply while they're giving you this time out. And in their minds, they're taking control of the situation by ignoring you right back. It's also extremely juvenile and extremely emotionally immature. But that's the first reaction. While they're doing this ignoring of you, ignoring them, they will be looking at your social media, given that you haven't got them blocked and that you just want to break from them, a temporary break, and you're still very emotionally involved with them and in some ways dependent on them for your feelings. You know, they will have really worked on you to get you into a place where you are psychologically and emotionally and spiritually abused. So you will be vulnerable to them still, very vulnerable. So they will keep an eye on you to see what you're up to while feeding on other people. If you post something like you're getting on great, that will annoy them. That will really annoy them. They'll keep an open mind as such in their narcissism and see what follows on from that. They can play the long game, remember. They can also, because they know you, because they've learned you, they'll get an idea if you're actually posting something that's false. They'll have a very good idea of where you're at in the narcissistic cycle. They'll have a very good idea of how hooked you actually are. They'll have a very good idea if you're posting a great picture of you in a great place as being false if they know that you're at a very broken stage. So they'll know that you nearly did that for them. And that's a form to them of reassurance that you're actually under control. Now, if you're doing this from a phew, that narcissist is gone, I'm so happy and I'm getting on with my life, and it's actually genuine, this would be unusual unless you've done a lot of work within the relationship. It would be very unusual that you would go from being with a narcissist and being abused to a place of inner peace and, you know, wonderful joy. But it does happen, and it could be authentic. But I'm telling you, the narcissist will have a fair idea if that's the case. So this is about how the narcissist reacts if you ignore them. So it's giving you an idea of what goes on with a narcissist in this situation. So social media viewing. They will maybe at this stage, if it's gone on quite a few weeks and they know that something's up and they're ignoring you, isn't bringing you back to contacting them again, they may send you an inane text like, can you give me the passcode for this? I really need it for that, to get you to respond. And this would be sent to see, one, if you respond, two, how fast do you respond, and three, what type of response do you send? And all of these things give the narcissist a nearly a precise measure, percentage measure of how under control you are. And remember, they don't know that you've received education on the narcissistic personality disorder. So they're going on their playbook of what's happened in the past with other people. And they've learned their manipulation skills. And they've learned how other people of empathy, normal people, react to their manipulations. And they've learned you as a customized version of the recipient of their manipulations. If the inane text doesn't work, or if you just send the passcode and send it within a half a day or a few hours of receiving the text, and this is your normal modus operandi, you're not a normal, the minute I get a text in, I reply to the text. This is all assessed. This is like they have an Excel spreadsheet on, on each part of the reaction, the timing, the way you react. They instinctively, remember, this is their business. This is their business. This is how they operate. They instinctively know where you're at. So they'll have assessed that in relation to where you're at. They may, at this stage then, if the inane text doesn't work, send in a flying monkey to see how you are. Just bump into you, wish you well, ask you a question, check up on you. Whatever is not going to chip away at the narcissist's control. The narcissist will have set this person up, like wound them up and set them off like a clockwork mouse to go to you and find out what's the story. What's the story? How's she or he doing? And the flying monkey will come back to the narcissist and again give their surveillance report on how you're doing in relation to you ignoring the narcissist, to see what's the way back in that's going to be effective, that's going to be safe, and that's going to get you into a vulnerable position enough so that the narcissist can come back in and re-embed themselves in your life, only in order by chance or by deed to come back into your life to be the one to leave you. Remember, they have to initiate. They have to be the action taker. They have to be the controller. They have to be the one to make the decision to leave a relationship. You don't do that. You are not entitled to do that. Who are you? Who are you to make a decision like that? You're an extension of the narcissist. You don't have self-agency in the narcissist's mind. If all of this fails and they're not getting the idea that you're too malleable, that you've gone beyond a certain point or you're getting beyond a certain point, because remember, the narcissist does know the effect this will have on you. They do know the effect that the devaluation has on you. They do know the effect of your emotional involvement with them. So they do know it's still there. And they do know that it can be toyed with and manipulated. They just need to know what string on the instrument that they need to twang to be fully effective in their regaining control of you totally. So they may, after these time has passed and you're still not cooperating, you're still not signaling that you're fully under control, they may actually contact you directly and suggest that, look, this is crazy, appealing to your sense of fairness, appealing to your empathic nature, appealing to your belief that everything can be sorted out. Remember, they don't know that they're a narcissist. They may say to you, look, this is stupid. Let's talk. We've had such a good relationship. We've such a strong connection. And, we love each other so much. Not that they love you, or they could. It depends on what's going to work, guys. What's going to work for the narcissist. So they'll suggest that you have a mutually beneficial adult conversation, and that some kind of a compromise is reached. Now, remember, they may have behaved to make you want to ignore them pretty abysmally. You may have realized that they've been abusing you and that you haven't been getting your needs met, but they will come at it from a point of view of lack of accountability, but with the con that they want to compromise and talk to you. So unless you're aware of narcissism and the NPD personality disorder, you may very well fall for this reasonable Hoover. It appears to be reasonable. You're a human after all. You believe that things can be resolved by mutually beneficial discourse. So you agree to meet the narcissist. Well, the narcissist will come in with this, and in their presence, it's difficult because your emotions will come back up as to how you feel about this person. You may have a level of attraction towards them. They may start the conversation off with a lot of positivity, with the future faking again. But then they will get down to brass knuckles and brass tacks, and they will put it back on you in some way in relation to the compromise that you can have it all again. But, they have found that they were dismayed and shocked that your behavior was so controlling. Oh my, guys, oh my. When you set boundaries in, the narcissist will break your boundaries down by telling you that you're being too controlling in order for them to be able to behave exactly the way they want to, as bad as they want to. So when you put some boundaries in, like, hey, I'd really like if you didn't stay out till 4 o'clock in the morning and not contact me, on a fairly continual basis, we're in a committed relationship, they'll say you're controlling. Should you go and do that, however, that would be a totally different story. But this is how the narcissist breaks you down and breaks your boundaries down in trying to make it a bad thing that you're looking after your own needs and saying, I'm really having difficulty with, how, you seem jealous. You seem very controlling of me and my time. And this is after, guys, a hefty dose of them truly abusing your trust and a lot of triangulation and them actually working you up to a point of even some type of small jealousy where you would never have been a jealous person before. They work on making you feel insecure and then they blame you for being insecure. So this is a narcissist to a T in relation to what they do. They change the role, they create a situation or create a feeling in you and then blame you for having it. So this is a mind, what, that they do on their victims. And it's only when you really get free of this type of relationship that you can, in retrospect, see exactly how manipulative they were and you see the truth. You see the actual truth. You're out of it. You have a more objective point of view. So how else do they react then to you ignoring them? If they've suggested that you talk and have this reasonable adult conversation, in inverted commas, and you decline, and you actually decline, oh my. What they can often do at this stage, besides what we already know, like that they'll, do a smear campaign or to try and reestablish their view of reality, and you obviously haven't a clue because you're gone off on a tangent, you're crazy, you're not seeing sense, you won't compromise, you're a loser. This is in their mind, this is what they do because you're not entertaining them any longer. So therefore you're a loser. That's how they'll reestablish control cognitively in their own minds. But what's something nasty that they can do and will do, if they have access to your life in relation to, they know maybe that, what can I say, that you've done something slightly not criminal, but maybe you haven't paid your tax on something, or you've taken a cash payment on something, or something of that nature that isn't a big deal, that you don't regularly do, but that you just needed to do at this time to get you over some kind of a hump or whatever. I think you get the picture. They will dob you in it. They will report you for that anonymously, so that it can't be traced back to them, or they'll say it to someone who will report it anonymously. They will be looking at the long game in relation to getting back with you. You are a source of supply they haven't finished with, and you have something that they still need from you or want to get from you before they've garbage canned you for a period, because they always come back unless you're absolutely unhooverable and know what you're dealing with. So you may find that things in your life start to go mysteriously wrong, or you get a puncture in your car very quickly after you drive it out of the driveway. You have a power cut and you don't know how it's happened, or, things will just start to kind of crumble in your life. And it will be actually the narcissist putting things in place to create a difficult time for you. They know that you're just not up and running and walking into the sunset as if nothing has happened to you. You've been through narcissistic abuse. You are going to take a while. You're on a journey of recovery and self-discovery, hopefully, which will be amazing, and you will be so joyful at the end of it. But they know the stages that you're at. They've learned you. They know that a normal person does not recover from a relationship of this intensity so quickly. So they'll know that you're already in a vulnerable position. They know that it'll be taking you a lot of self-discipline and a lot of strength not to actually reach out to them, to discover the truth, which they would never tell you in relation to closure, etc. So if they can pile on a few more disasters, like physical disasters in your life, when you're at this vulnerable stage, then if they mush you up, so to speak, and make you more vulnerable, there is much more of a chance that you will reach out to them, or that if they soften you up, they're softening you up so that you may reach out to them, or if they try another tactic in relation to them putting themselves in a position where you might be, like they go to the same shopping mall, they turn up near your work, they walk by your house, you see them and you're not feeling so great, you're feeling vulnerable, and you're at a weak moment emotionally, and you reach out and re-engage with the narcissist. So guys, I know you get it. These are some of the things a narcissist will do if you ignore them. And the end game is to get back in with you in order to ignore you big time by discarding you, and them to fully re-establishing that they were the one that made the decision, they took the action, you're the baddie, they're the goodie, and they've gone off feeling empowered and in control. It's a sick game. Narcissism is extremely simple to understand once you've gotten the education. It's a tit for tat, a batting game between a narcissist and another person, and it's all about control, lack of accountability on the narcissist's part, entitlement, black and white thinking, and narcissistic cycles where they're in one cycle with you and they're simultaneously in other cycles with other people. Not someone to have a relationship with, guys. Heal well, and I will talk to you or with you very soon. Take great care of yourselves and see you soon. Thank you. Bye.